Okay. You would think eventually I would get used to this. All right. The following live broadcast may contain loud, obnoxious, shrill, and alarming noises that might be considered disturbing, if not outright uncomfortable to listen to, especially if you are wearing headphones. I share my office space with an African gray parrot and 2 parakeets, and I have no control over their behavior while I am live streaming, unlike my regular videos where I have the opportunity to edit them out as best as I can. If you are sensitive to loud, surprising background noises, I recommend either not turning your volume up too loud or watching my edited, pre-recorded videos instead. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, one of these days I'll get this. I'll get this the way I need it to. So, okay. So let me just check to make sure my sound is on. Yeah, okay. All right, so hopefully no fiascos like last time. So we're live on Facebook. We got the sound on, as far as I know, as far as I can tell. First, there you go. There you go. So, hey, Varian. So I hope you can hear me fine. So there we go. Okay, so all right. I think everything seems. Let me just do one more check. You know, because that's what these things are. Okay. All right, good. All right. Okay. All right. So I guess we got everything going. All right. So, hi everybody. Welcome to my channel. If you're watching this from Facebook, welcome. My name is Daphne Lage, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. And as you can see, that's why I have a disclaimer, because sometimes he gets worse than that. So I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I am known for the funny animal fantasy comic Tall Tales right here, and also known for my fantasy medieval soap opera drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which definitely by now everybody should have gotten their books from Kickstarter. So thank you everybody for supporting that. And of course, there's more coming up. So, okay, so you can read both of these comics online for free at my websites at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can read the first 5 issues of Eagle Raven in its original black and white format for free. Or you can go to Tall Tales Online, TAILS, where you can read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free online. But coming up shortly, there's going to be another way of reading it that we're going to talk about a little bit. But again, you can go to my website. You can read both of my comics for free. And if you're on Facebook, if you're watching this from Facebook, you can also visit my channel on YouTube, where you can watch videos on how I make these comics and everything else at my YouTube channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art. So again, if you just go to egoworks.com, you'll find all the links there to everything. And, you know, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, so we have an exciting couple of months coming up. I have been crazy busy. I mean, I don't think I ever remember being this busy working on comics and comic related things for like the longest time. I guess setting up your Kickstarter schedule for the year really does that. You know, I mean, it used to be in the past. Oh, thank you, Varian. So there we go. So yeah, he's just, so I'm giving back the thumbs up. Good, good. Because last week was a disaster with that, but whatever. That's at least I know what to do now. So so scheduling all these Kickstarters for the year has really put a fire under my butt. So I have been so busy with comic book work. It's not even funny. Usually in the past, it used to be San Diego Comic-Con. That would be like the big thing that we would work around. It's like they would always try to get everything ready for San Diego. But that hasn't been a thing for a while for us, and especially in 2020 with them canceling everything. So, and it turned out that Kickstarter was going to be was going to be the replacement. So, at the beginning when we first went into lockdown last year, I decided to if Kickstarter is what we're going to rely on, might as well schedule everything in advance. And I had no idea it would end up, my schedule would end up this full. So let's do a little housekeeping, and actually let me give you a rundown as to what's going on lately. So let me just give everybody, get the ticker tape parade started there. So as the schedule marches on, so the next the Kickstarter that's coming up that I'm frantically getting stuff done for is for Tall Tales Volume 1, Thieves Quest. So it seems like this past year we have gained a lot of new subscribers and visitors, and just a whole new audience in general who are not very familiar with our work, especially the more we hang out with with Varian and his crew on Indie Vault. And so we have a whole new audience for our work, and because of that, it kind of made me realize that it's like, maybe starting dumping people in the middle of our series isn't such a good idea. So we reworked the schedule a bit, and we decided that our next Kickstarter, we're going to start Tall Tales from the beginning for everyone's benefit. So March 29th is going to be the campaign on Kickstarter for Tall Tales Thieves Quest, the original series, starting from issue 1. So for everybody who was hesitant on trying to dig into over 1,000 pages worth of material on the website, never fear. Here we are. We're going to make it easy for you by releasing a remastered version of the first volume, which I actually have a proof from the printer here that oh, hey Pops, that yes, and you know what, yeah, and that's exactly what it is. So it's like, this is literally this literally got put together because of the fans, and especially all the new fans that we ended up gaining. So we had an original trade that sold out, and we were going to sit on it for a little bit until we got the second story arc done. But it just, it in the end, we just decided that wasn't such a good idea. And you know what? And it's like, I'm really glad we made this decision, because it gave me the opportunity to really rework a lot of things. I was able to redo remaster the cover. This is literally the same cover from our original trade that we did 15 years ago, except I just bumped up the inking and recolored it, and it's like a whole new book. I mean, I'm just completely chuffed with how this came out. And as you can see, I went with the full gloss and everything, which is why the reflections are a little annoying. But this is what we're going to be premiering on Kickstarter next Monday. Actually, this coming Monday, isn't it? Yeah, this coming Monday. March 29th, whatever this Monday is, that's it. So there's going to be, so there's links below for you to sign up for the pre-launch page. And I'm going to go into more detail on this on a later date. But give me a couple of minutes and go through housekeeping, and I'll show you more of this trade as I finish, because it's like there's a couple of things about this that I just want to show off. So yeah, so that's the exciting news. So Kickstarter, Volume 1, Tall Tales, Thieves Quest, from the beginning. This is it. This is the chance to get on board. So we can, so whenever you hear me talking about Tall Tales, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's number one. So the second Kickstarter coming up, which you guys know I've been talking about for a while, is Eager Raven. Issue 2 is coming up. So like I said, everybody should have gotten their issue 1s so far. By now, everything went out, even all the sketch covers. And I am furiously coloring issue 2 right now. So this is my these are my my samples after I color a page on Photoshop. I then print them out so that later I can go back and try to correct all my mistakes. I already had some art inconsistencies that I was able to catch and fix. So, but in the end, there's only so much I can do without completely redrawing it. So I don't want to go too crazy. But yeah, so I'm almost done with this. I have 8, 9, 10, 11 pages left to go to color. And yeah, this was quite the learning experience from doing the first one. The more I go, even though this is taking me about the same amount of time to color as the first issue did, this one's a little bit more annoying because I really, really want to get it done to the point where I'm looking into hiring a flatter for issue 3 on, because this is a lot of work. Like I said, this whole Kickstarter season is so much work that I wasn't expecting to do, and it's a great problem to have, honestly. But there are just certain things where I just have to Tom Ferriss the crap out of it and just outsource, So, I'm testing a flatter right now. Hopefully, by Friday, I'll have some samples to see whether it'll work out. Will it work out for me? It's the feathery alarm that's in the cage over here. Yeah, that's that unfortunately, that noise I can't do anything about, which is why I have a disclaimer at the beginning. But bear with him. If you missed it, I do share the office with a parrot, and he gets set off every time I go live or I try to record something. So in the end, it's like, instead of fighting it, it's just like, look, this is just what it is, and he's right there. So so just so you guys know. So flatting. So hopefully by Friday, I'll have some flats ready to see whether this is something that's feasible for me. Because the amount of work that I'm having to do is just, it's like I said, it's a great problem to have, but there just comes a point where I literally cannot do everything on my own. So we'll see how that goes. And of course, it's like, I just got the first issue out. The second issue Kickstarter, May 3rd, 2021, link below. Sign up for the pre-launch page is up, so you get reminded when it goes live. And already I'm way ahead thinking about what I'm going to be doing for the collected trade at the end of the year. And I have already started a short story for that trade, paperback. So that, it's just something else that I'm working on. So let me switch over cameras so I can just show you some of the stuff here that's I guess percolating and going. So let's Okay, so as you can see, here's the desk. So here is this is my coloring pages that I'm working on. This is for issue 2, just to show you like how it's coming along. So, and if you caught the live stream the last time, you would have saw me coloring some of these pages on the live stream. So yeah, so every time I finish a page, I print it out so that I can just check everything over. So like I said, I'm like 13 pages short of finishing this, which I'll be thrilled just to get this out of the way. But yeah, it's gotten to a point where it's time to delegate delegate that. The flatting at least. The flatting at least. So this is, let me see. So like I said, I'm already looking into what the trade for Eagle Raven Volume 1 is going to look like, which will collect issues 1 through 4. And I'm already working on a short story for that trade. The more I work on the main canon is done. Heir of the First Unicorn, that story is completely finished. But the thing is, though, there are certain like little side stories that, for some reason or another, well, they're technically part of the main canon, but I couldn't technically fit them in because it's like either it would have bogged down the main story, it would have slowed it down, or it didn't fit the tone so that it would have looked shoehorned in. So there were, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's obviously you're commenting about the coloring, because like right now you can barely see everything on the screen. That the blue lines are tough to see. But thank you though. Yeah. I'm learning a lot by coloring myself, but yeah, it's somebody needs to do the flats, because the ironic thing about it is that the flats is the most tedious part of the whole process. I can do the shading, I can do the highlights, I can do that all day. But the second I got to put in those flats, it's like I'm dying at the screen. So yeah, so if someone else can do that, let them do that. So this is a short story that I'm working on for the Volume 1 trade. It's 12 pages, and it serves as kind of an experiment where it's like about like kind of like stretching my artistic muscles in a couple of ways. One, doing a story that's 12 pages or less. Two, drawing out a story that's just two people talking, but making it look dynamic and still having that feeling of movement, even though it's just people talking. It's kind of like my Wally Wood experiment. It's like, how to do compelling talking scenes. And yeah, so it's like, I'm already like thinking like, at the end, my brain is at the end of the year, even though it's like we're just at the end of March, but my brain is already in December. So this is what it's going. If you want to see close-ups of these layouts, you can go ahead over to my Facebook. Just go to egoworks.com. My Facebook link is there, and you can see close-ups of these layouts, including me explaining like what the story is and what the exercise that this story does, in terms of, and the one last thing is like how to tell a story without dialogue, like, because there's no dialogue in the story until about page 4. So, but the story still has to flow without the dialogue. So, like I said, you can check that out on Facebook if you want to take a closer look at it and see if my experimenting is going well. So, like I said, my brain's in December already. So that's another project that I'm just like, I was literally lettering these pages before I even got on the live stream. It's like, that's how all over the place I am right now. So back to Tall Tales. So here is, like I said, Tall Tales is the next Kickstarter coming up next Monday, goes live, and it is for the Volume 1 trade paperback of Thieves Quest. I just got these proofs yesterday, And aside from some very, very minor tweaking, it's pretty much good to go. So, so definitely, that when that Kickstarter goes live, the books are done, everything's ready. All I have to do is just, it's like get to the end of the Kickstarter and send it out to the printers, and that's it. So okay. So what makes it? I should have pulled out one of the original versions, but I'm not going to go looking for that right now. So what makes this trade special and different from the other versions that we did is that this is the first time we're doing a collected trade comic book size. So the individual issues are comic book size. So in the end, why wouldn't the collected trade finally be in comic book size? So that I'm really happy about, because this is how the pages are supposed to look. So yeah, so this is going to collect the first 5 issues. The original trades only collected the 4 issues. We're collecting 5, so it's going to be 4 trades for 20 issues. So it's a nice even collection there. So this is what, as you can see, I love the printing. The blacks came out really solid. The really thick trade that we did, that was like the frustrating part about it that I didn't like, which is also one of the reasons why we discontinued it, was because the printing wasn't as solid as I wanted it to be. And this is and this is exactly what I'm looking for. The artwork is really crisp and clear and exactly the way I wanted it to look. So I'm really happy with the way this proof came out. So the only like minor things that I'm going to be changing with between this proof and the actual final printed books is that I'm just gonna like tweak the lettering just on the back cover a bit. I changed the numbers so that they're more centered and uses the comic book font so that it looks more consistent. This was the numbering system that I used on the original trade that I guess looked better there, but for some reason doesn't translate into this format. So it's weird, but once I changed it, it looks fine now. And then just to change some information in the indicia. And that's pretty much it. So there's going to be like niddly little variations between the proof and the final version of the book. So and as you can see, I put like these end papers there. I want to give a shout out to Russ Leach, because I've been using his Only Death Can Save Us as kind of like helping me like, what would look good as a trade at this size and whatnot. And he did these end papers. And, so I stole the idea from him, and it came out great. I couldn't have asked for a better visual here. You open that up and you just see that, and it's just like really striking. So what I'm doing with these books, so I ordered a stack of 10, because it's like from, the printer, you can't just order just one unless you want to pay $40 for one trade. So I ordered 10, and what I'm doing with this 10, which is going to be special to the Kickstarter, because now, we're able to do add-ons, which I'm actually really glad about that. So what I'm doing is I'm actually drawing on the inside of the books here. So I already have 2 of them here. So, and what these are going to be is that these are going to be my artist proofs editions. They're going to be numbered. They're going to have the sketch in it, and these are going to be, you're going to be able to get these versions of the trades as add-ons. These are my artist proof add-ons. So I'm only making the amount that's here. We'll probably end up with only 9 copies with the artwork inside, and that will be it for that. But that's what I'm doing right now. Just sketching in the insides here to do the proofs. And so this will be available on the Kickstarter on Monday. So again, just sign up down below to go on the pre-launch page, which will remind you when it goes live. And yeah, so we're going to have also with the trade, we're going to have our Silvermane figures available, which, you know, at least that I can show you really quick. For those of you who don't know, excuse the dust on him. So years ago, we got these vinyl toys made. So yeah, so that's what he looks like. So this is Silvermane, and we're going to be offering this up along with the trade. We also have certain variants of this figure. It comes in a green glow edition, a blue glow edition, and a black and white blood splatter edition, which again you will also be able to get as add-ons. The regular version will be on its own, on the levels, but if you want the other variants, you can get those as add-ons, and that'll be available with the trade as well, along with random sketch covers of the other individual issues that we've done. So you can get, because we're not going to do a sketch cover of a trade paperback. That's a little too extra. So we're going to have a level where you can get random sketch covers from the other issues, like, you know, like if like you'll get a sketch cover of issue 5 of Tears of the Mother, or of the Peacekeepers. Peacekeepers is another series. Yeah. So we're gonna. So if you don't know what I'm talking about right now with these other issues, don't worry. We're going to be getting through everything on Kickstarter. So, you know, that's the beauty of doing that. So we're going to everything is going to be released on Kickstarter, because it's like, I think we have volume 2 also scheduled for the end of the year. So yeah, so we'll see how that. And if you're following Tears of the Mother, which this was the last issue that we put out, issue 5. I'm still working on issue 6. That Kickstarter is scheduled for July, I think, but I would have to look at my schedule. So yeah, so if you're looking to continue the Tears of the Mother story arc, which is the second story arc, yes, so issue 6 going live in July, but we're not talking about that right now. So right now it's all about volume 1 and getting these artist proofs done, so that I can put them up on the add-ons page. So yeah, so that's what's going on. I guess and by the way, if you're curious if who's my printer on this, we're using Mixam. So it's mixam.com if you want to look into getting books done yourself. So this is what a comic book size trade paperback looks like. I think this is the satin paper with 70-pound satin with 100-pound cover, gloss cover with gloss lamination on it. You know, just the little bits of information in case you needed. You want to check them out. So today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working on this sketch here that I'm working on for another campaign that I'm part of that's right now on Indiegogo. It's called Indie Volt Revolt, and it is an anthology featuring the fans and I guess regular guests and whatnot of the Indie Volt network. So if you catch me on Geekgasm, on the morning buzz, on Sunday Funnies. That's all part of the Indie Vault network. So, and because of that, I got to have an 8-page story in this anthology. Again, link is below, so you can check that out. And we've already hit goal, but we would really like to, make as much as we can, because that's what crowdfunding is all about, right? Making as much money as we can just to get these books printed and whatnot. And the more goals we hit, the more stretch goals we hit, the bigger the book will be. So so it's like we have stories in the wings that are just waiting to hit certain goals, and then it's like those stories will be added to the book. So the book is already, I think, 122 pages, and with each stretch goal there's going to be more pages to it. So who knows how many pages that book is going to end up. It's like, hey, look, for all I know, if the campaign goes really, really well, and maybe you'll see, you'll see this Eagle Raven short in it. Who knows? I don't know. It depends on how far it goes. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. So this is a backer reward for whoever is the 50th physical backer on the campaign. So if you are the 50th backer on the Indie Volt Revolt campaign on Indiegogo, you will be receiving this original piece of artwork of Ms.Chevious in your order. So I had to keep the theme going. I have an 8-page Ms.Chevious story in there from Tales from the Anniverse. So of course I had to do a matching Ms.Chevious piece to go with it. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Let me just put these books. Just put those to the side so I don't get them messed up. So I already cleaned up my rapidographs and whatnot to get them ready for this. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be inking this. I'm going to be inking and coloring it. And I'm going to be giving this away. Believe it or not. Sometimes it's hard to do. I'm already kind of, regretting it, but hey, a promise is a promise. And, we want to push this campaign as far as we can go. So 50th backer, Indie Volt Revolt. Link in the bottom below. Link below, because it would be in the bottom. You guys are just going to have to duke it out. Okay. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I think that's pretty much everything for housekeeping. Pretty much. Just, all the Kickstarters, all the campaign, all the crowdfunding, all the links below. And that's and I think that's pretty much it. I mean, got the other story going, already thinking about a trade at the end of the year for Eagle Raven. It really is a lot going on. I kind of underestimated the intensity of having a schedule. So all right. So let's, did I scan this in? What's funny? I think I'm going to scan this in first before I ink it, just in case. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, Okay, so I guess I might as well just show you how I do this process anyway. So I'm going to open up Photoshop, and I'm currently using a Mustec 11x17 scanner. That's kind of on its last legs, but I'm not sure if it really is, or it's just because my computer is so old and acting up that it makes all my equipment act up. So I'm still waiting for a new computer. They said that they got the pieces. So hopefully by April, I'll have a brand new computer, brand new setup, and hopefully my peripherals will work better as a result. But in the meantime, we're just going to have to put up with it the way it is. So my scanner, 11 by 17 Mustec, which, by the way, I found out that Mustec does not ship to the United States anymore. It's a Korean company, and they used to have them available in the United States, and they don't anymore. And all the similar scanners that are made by Epson and what are almost $1,000. So yeah, I'm really trying to hold on to this scanner as much as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and scan this piece in. Okay. Because you always want to back up before inking, you know, because it's like, yeah, if I start inking and something happens to these pencils, I'm gonna cry. So I might as well just get this on the computer first. I don't know why I didn't do that the first time I did it. So yeah, usually once it's scanned in, I sit here and I kind of play around with the blue lines and darken them and whatnot. But you know, because we're live right now, I'll save that for later. I'm just gonna save it. Just gonna save the image, and then I'll tweak it later. So. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to save that. Okay, now that that's out of the way. Okay, you got to see that. So exciting. I know. Okay. So let's get back to where we were. Ah, there we are. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so where were we? Okay. Okay, if I'm going to start inking, I'm going to need to get tissues. So hold on. I'm sure you guys have seen the plenty of photos I've had of my hands after dealing with these rapidiographs. So, okay. Okay. All righty. So let's get started here. So. But yeah, I was a little surprised as to just how having all these Kickstarters scheduled. I don't want to say overwhelmed my senses or just overwhelmed everything. But I definitely underestimated in the end, like how much work it was going to take to get these Kickstarters up and running, you know, and then just doing the work that's going to be in on those Kickstarters. So don't mind me if I sound all of a sudden congested. That's the readers that I'm wearing. These glasses are a little on the heavy side, so they keep pinching my my nose here. So if I sound a little congested, it's because of these. Like I have 3 different glasses that I have to use now, depending on what I'm doing. So yeah. So that's. Oh, so hello there. Hello, waves. Ooh, waves. There we go. Waves, waves, waves. And how I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm busy as heck. That's for sure. Like I said, I was a little surprised at just how much work being on an actual schedule entails. I mean, they're literally I mean, it's like they're literally days where it's like I'm either at the drawing board or coloring or doing whatever. Like I'm in this seat like from 9 in the morning to like almost midnight. You know, it's like just that's what it takes, you know? I mean, I know it's like for some people that sounds like really weird that it's like, oh, it's like, you know, don't you take breaks or something, you know, or you know, and it's like, yeah, I guess, you know, but it's like the work's not going to get done itself. And, you know, it's not like I'm bricklaying, you know, I'm not working retail. So, I mean, in the end, it's like this is like long hours, but at least it's long hours on work I want to do. So it's not as onerous as it might sound. Onerous. Oh, hey Joe. Oh, it's official. It's official. Joe's in the house, so we know what that means. It's now. You know, now all we need is Stinch to show up and we're good to go. We're an official live stream. Yeah. So if you have any questions, yeah, go right ahead. Hopefully, you know, it's like I'm still going to be inking, but you know, I'll make sure to look up so that I can see the chat. Oh, okay. So here we go. So here is, ooh, okay. So here is, I don't know if this would be a spoiler, but not really though. I mean, it's like, come on, the book has been out for 20 years. So if you don't know what they're talking about, you know, you can just go to the website and find it. So will we ever see the fox that Pandora adopted? Yes, we will. We will. That is, yes, that is part of the story. Actually, there's going to be, I think, like a whole section of that in the 3rd story arc, the yet unnamed 3rd story arc. So yeah, so we are going to cover that in that story arc. But yes, if you want to know what they're talking about, well, you have to start collecting Tall Tales Thieves Quest from the beginning. So here you go. That's a good segue, right? Oh yeah, yeah. I'm kind of regretting that decision too, Joe. this piece, this piece is coming out, you know, very nicely. So I'm like, I just promised to give this away, but you know, I mean, it's like that's the whole thing, right? You know, I remember a teacher saying that, you know, you know, the whole idea is that the next piece you do will be a better one. Like if you're that concerned about not being able to repeat an image, you know, like not to be able to repeat a drawing, or thinking like this is it, this is the best one, you're already done for. So as much as I really like the way this piece is coming out, I, you know, it's like, you know what, it's more fun to give it away. It's going to be a lot more fun to the person who's going to receive it than if I just hoarded it in a box. And I do have a box here that's just full of my artwork. So yeah, so at least whoever gets this, they're more likely to actually enjoy it and hang it on a wall or something and have it out there, as opposed to me just putting it in the box, you know, and just to say that I have it, you know. So yeah, so let it be free. So that's, in the end, it's like that's the story of this piece. We're going to do the best work I can on it, and then let it fly. Oh yeah, you just missed it. That's exactly. I already scanned in the pencils, just in case my rapidiographs blow up on it, because that has happened. But yeah, no, definitely, I will be scanning it, and it's also because, yeah, Randy has already asked for a copy of it to print in the Tales from the Aniverse collection. Which honestly, I can't wait until, you know, when he does that, because it's like, that's like, even before I knew him, that was a book I've always wanted to get in a trade paperback, or just in a trade, collected trade, just all the stories in there. So yeah, so it's going to be in that book as well. So yes, we're good. We're dotting our I's and crossing our T's on this. Yeah. So yeah, so that's, I mean, it's like, that's a pretty interesting thing. I mean, when Randy invited me at the very beginning, um that, you know, to do, it's like, oh, it'd be nice if you could do like a story for Indie Vault, the Ms.Chevious story. And it's like, that was he was surprised at how quickly I said yes to it. It was both me and JD. And you know, and what's funny is that it's like, it was one of those things where it's like, how could I say no? Like Arrow Comics, especially the Realm and Aniverse, these well, actually, we discovered the Realm first, and the Realm really inspired the tone for Tall Tales. I mean, it's like, it was a joke that Ralph said, that it's like, oh, that the Realm gave birth to a lot of Realm babies, you know. And it's like, and I remember being on the interview with him, and I'm like, wait, I'm right here. I'm right here, dude. You know, and that's really what it was. Like, Tall Tales was a Realm baby, to the point that, I mean, I remember JD coming to me with the first issue of the Realm and saying, we need to copy this cover. I want to do an homage to this cover, which I did. I just have to find it. And then it's like, and then the Aniverse came out, and then it was just like, you know, just little bits and bobs of that DNA, you know, all over Tall Tales, and just my work in general. So, you know, so being in the Indie Volt Revolt anthology was like coming full circle on this. You know, it's like Arrow Comics and, you know, Aniverse was like, how could we say no? It's like, these were the guys that really kind of like were like part of the inspiration of what we did, of what we're doing, you know. So it's like, yeah, so this, you know, so yeah, so it was a surprise for all of us, really. It's like, it just goes to show you what a small world independent comics is. Man, I really do like the way this piece came out, though. It's like I really love that "come at me, bro" vibe that that she's giving here. It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, you know, you are going to find out. That's for sure, right? Say also, it's like this is a little different. Inking with real pretty graphs is a little different than inking with multi-liners, which I usually do. Like for the little sketches that I'm doing for the Tall Tales proof, you know, artist proofs, I'm using my multi-liners on it because this is way too much ink to use on that paper. It would never dry. But the irony of it is that I don't like the Copics, the Copic multi-liners. You know, this is what I'm using right now. Oh yeah. You know what's funny? I'm super thrilled at that too, to tell you the truth. It's like I know it's a very strange compliment. It's like, you know, because he's saying it's like so happy you're drawing people now. It's a very strange compliment, but there was just something about something that happened this year, last year, when I started, you know, really hunkering down and especially working on Eagle Raven. And what's funny is that when I started working on Eagle Raven, what I like to do is I like to challenge myself artistically with everything that I do, you know. So even if it comes out wonky, at least I know I challenged myself to do something, you know. Better for it to come out, you know. Oh yeah, no, definitely. So so Joe is he's going to we're going to eventually do a I guess like what, a variant cover, a pinup or something for Joe for his Amazonia. And which I'm really looking forward to. I already have like ideas in my head as to what I want to do for that, because like I said, every time I do a piece, I like to challenge myself in it. You know, I don't like being one of these artists where it's like they always go for like the easy out when it comes to a piece. It's like, you know, I want to do something in a piece that challenges me in a certain way. So when I first came up with Eagle Raven seriously as a comic, one of the main rules I gave myself for that book is that I had to draw people, that it couldn't be a completely furry comic. We already have Tall Tales for that, so I wanted to go in a completely different direction with Eagle Raven. So even though there are some furries in it, it's like it's two of them, you know. It's like there only two of them are like part of the main cast, but everybody else is human. So what does that do? That forces me to draw humans. And the thing, what's funny is that I'm tweaking. One of the things that I'm tweaking in when I'm coloring the pages and remastering them is I'm kind of applying what I've learned this last year into the work, because of the fact that something clicked for me this past year in drawing people, guys especially, that now it's like I'm kind of borderline addicted to drawing people now. It's kind of weird. It's like, because before I would avoid them like crazy, because it's like, oh, because furries was so much easier for me. But now it's like I'm kind of not afraid anymore of drawing guys especially. So yeah, I'm all over the place with that. I'm all over it. So one of the things that I've been doing is tweaking the way some of the characters look in the original version, because now it's like the new designs that I did, they look a little different, but I don't want to redo those pages. So I'm just tweaking them enough so that I kind of get, so I put them on the right track design wise. And then when I start drawing issue 6 and issue 7 and all those other issues, when I come back to those characters, the design is not jarring. It's like that you'll still be able to like, oh, okay, these are still these characters, but it's like, but now it's like, but this is how it's like, but they just look slightly different. Like they'll look more correct when I do the new issues. Right now, they're on the right track. I mean, if that makes any sense. Thank you. If that makes any sense, because like I said, I don't want to redo those pages. There's no reason for me to redo them. I think they're fine, short of whatever I'm fixing. So yeah, I'm doing just enough. Really, I'm doing just enough. So yeah, so my big rule was draw people. And like I said, this past year, it's been so intense. That work has been so intense, something finally clicked. And now it's just like, I'm so not afraid of drawing guys anymore. And and now it's like, and what's funny is that it really freed my brain up. Because it's like, now it's like, I didn't feel like I was catering to a limitation, or at least trying to force something with a limitation. Now it's like, oh, okay, I'll just do this. Yeah. So it's kind of weird, saying that, but you know what? I guess it's like, that's what happens. It's like when you just continue pushing yourself until it finally just clicks, and that's it. It's like, yeah, it's like they're freaking 12-year-olds who could draw better than me, 14-year-olds, that it's like you go on DeviantArt and it's like, okay, so here's another Tall Tales Thieves Quest question. You think Eve, which is the lemur character, that Ralph begins to hang out with midway, we have combat skills in the future episodes? Actually, no. That's not her specialty. So her character is not that type of character. She's not. She does become Ralph's companion, but other than that, that's not her purpose. So she doesn't. She becomes a wizard's companion, but she does not become a wizard herself. She's the lemur character that the original cover gets me into trouble a lot. When we're at conventions, if I so she's a very buxom lemur character, because she is the Earl's courtesan. She's a courtesan to the Earl that Ralph takes a fancy to. So, but that's pretty. Yeah, but her character pretty much kind of stays what she is. It's like, yeah, she doesn't learn sorcery or anything. She's just Eva. She's just, that's just what she is. People. Oh yeah, we're talking about drawing people, but that's just like practicing anything in general. Like my next thing that I'd really like to get that click, that light bulb moment on is kind of like backgrounds and architecture. Like that's my next goal. Just forcing myself to do more backgrounds. I mean, and in fact, it's like the layouts that I was showing you before for this Eagle Raven short that I'm working on. And like I said, you can see the layouts on my Facebook page. Again, go to eagleworks.com, click on my Facebook link, and you can see the layouts that I posted for this short story. And yeah, it's like, so that short story is not just me drawing a short story. It's me also forcing myself to do things. It's like, so what those 12 pages are doing is forcing me to work within a 12-page or less parameter for a story, and to have a complete story, not like a to be continued, but it's a little vignette. It has a beginning, middle, end, and that's it. That's the story. So that's the one thing I'm experimenting with those layouts. Another is telling a story with no dialogue. Even though there is going to be dialogue in the story, my layouts have to reflect that story without the dialogue. So I guess if you wanted to really challenge yourself, go to my Facebook page, read those layouts, and see if you could figure out what the story could possibly be just by looking at the layouts. I mean, if you want to just play a game, that you could do that with those layouts. Can you kind of infer what the story is just by looking at the layouts with no dialogue? Because it's like, I think that's an important way to learn storytelling. And also, like, and then it's like what I called it, my Wally Wood project, or my Wally Wood exercise, that we're talking about. This is a story, 12-page story of two people talking. There's nothing else going on. They're just talking. But you still have to interest your reader in 12 pages. So it can't just be talking heads throughout the entire thing. So you still have to be visually interesting to your reader in order to get them to read the story. Because it's like, if they just see a repetitive panels that doesn't seem to be doing anything, you're going to have a hard time bringing them into what you want them to read. So you want your artwork to still bring the reader in, to bring the person looking at the work in, so that they will read it. So yeah, so you need the characters, you need the panels to move still, even though it's just dialogue. So that's the Wally Wood, because the Wally Wood has you can find it online. I think it's the 22 panels that always work. So this was like a shorthand that he created for himself, to get through a lot of wordy dialogue scenes, and still make the artwork compelling. So this is why I call it the Wally Wood, because this is what I'm experimenting with these 12 pages. And also, like, another thing too is that I'm doing with these pages is the other experiment, the other exercise is doing backgrounds and doing, architectural elements and trying to incorporate that into the scenes properly, as opposed to, like, again, it's like, you don't want to depend on your talking heads, because that's boring, right? And the other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to just leave blank backgrounds, for as long as you can, because that's also boring. It's like, you want to still have those visual cues, that visual interest. I mean, it's like, because it's I mean, what's funny is that it sounds like a no-brainer, because we're talking about comics, right? We're talking about the marriage of words and pictures. And it's funny to see how many people kind of sacrifice one for the other, when it's really supposed to be a dance between the two. You know, your pictures are supposed to work with the words, and your words are supposed to work with the pictures, and they're supposed to blend together. It's not about diminishing one so that, I don't know, it works in your schedule better or something. I mean, it's kind of weird because, I mean, I do understand that it's like, you know, deadlines really push you to your limit when it comes to certain things when doing this type of work. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, well, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred. Yeah. And that's the thing. So it's like you knew you were getting into a situation where you're drawing comics. You're combining your words with your imagery. So to all of a sudden say you need to sacrifice one or the other is kind of counterproductive, because you need to establish that togetherness of the two mediums. Oh yeah, more like a happy, like a happy marriage. Some comics come up, no, for real, and that's what I'm talking about. There's some people that it's like they get into comics and then they treat the format like an inconvenience. Like it's like that's so ridiculous, because it's like I said, you knew what you were getting into, you know? So it's like, why would you resent one part or another? Although honestly, if I could throw a little shade here, I really do blame Todd McFarlane and a lot of the Image guys back in the day. I remember Todd McFarlane specifically talking about how he could throw all his pages on the floor, mix everything up, and he could like, the storytelling didn't matter. Like, it would just, like, the pages would still make sense. Well, it's like, yeah, the storytelling didn't matter if you didn't have a story to go with it to begin with. You know, it's like if you were creating pages to sell as individual pinups, because that's how you were making your side money, it's like, yeah, the story is completely secondary, if not non-existent. I mean, really, it's like, I remember, you know, those guys talking about, you know, F writers. You don't need writers. You can do it yourself. And then all of a sudden, the first chance they get, they were hiring freaking Alan Moore to write everything. So it's like, really? You know, it's like, really, writer? I thought you said writers weren't important. So, and I think a lot of people took that to heart. And I really do think that comics really suffered because of that attitude. Because then what happened was that you had an entire generation learning how to draw comics for the sake of the shiny pinup, as opposed to telling a story. And then that's how you end up with like these really, really weird comics where it's, you know, where it's more of like a pinup book rather than a storytelling medium. You know, so yeah, I'm gonna put the blame there for a bit. Well, I've been putting the blame there for a while, actually. You know. You know, but I really do think that's what happens. And it's like you have. Oh, right, yeah. I can had more than a few line weight mishaps. Well, my whole thing with inking upside down is that I'm trying to avoid the ink. You know, it's like, especially with the way the light, using rapidograph, I can literally see where the ink is wet. So I turn it upside down so that I'm avoiding this area. And watch, I'm going to do this. It's like, shh, no. You're all waiting for that, right? So I'm trying to avoid all the wet areas. You know, so also it's like, you know, so luckily I'm just using one line weight right now. So that's kind of not an issue for me. But yeah, it's mostly just to avoid the wet spots. Because nobody likes the wet spots, right? So yeah. But it's like even though I keep calling this a convention piece, it's not really. This is not how I would do a convention piece, because like if I was at a convention, I would be using my index paper. This is actual Bristol, smooth plate Bristol. I would be using my, at a convention, I'd be using my Copic multi-liners. I would be, it's like anything that to get it done quickly, because it's a convention sketch. This is actually more of a commission piece. Like this is the type of work I would put into a commission. Right? Yeah, it's like, right, yeah. Yeah. So so I will be on Geekgasm tonight. So yes, so we can we can we can talk more there. So about all that stuff. So so this is more how a commission would look coming from me. It's like it would be on the heavier weight vellum. I'm using my actual ink. Um so the person, the 50th backer who's going to get this piece, yeah, I'm to say it's a convention piece is a little is not really representative of what they're going to actually get. It's like this is a full-blown commission pretty much. So yeah, so whoever gets this is going to, they're going to be in for a good time. It's like this is going to be a really nice piece for them to get. Also, I made it comic book size, so it fits in the bag, the little baggies, the little comic book baggies. I thought I had one lying around here, so you can just slide it in and it'll fit with your comics. It'll, So the only thing that I'm debating now with this piece is so Ms.Chevious is she's a black cat. And when I usually ink black characters, I usually ink them in, with ink. But I'm kind of thinking, because this is a color piece, it'll look better if I use like really darker grays instead. Kind of bring out more of the detail without kind of like flattening her out with solid black spaces, spaces in her face and whatnot. So I'm probably going to do that. So it's like I'm going to ink her. I'm not going to ink her. I'm not going to completely ink her in. Yeah, you see, it's like, I don't know if you can kind of see where the ink is shiny. That's what I'm trying to avoid putting my hands on. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, Variant. How are your pages going? Are you working on something? But not for nothing though. Variant is a busy guy. He is a busy guy. He's busy running his media empire. So, although he does have his artwork, I was talking before about how the more stretch goals. Oh, thank you. Yes. 50th backer gets this. So their 50th backer is going to get a surprise. They're going to get this in their package. So yeah, it's so with the Indie Volt Revolt, let's talk about that a little bit more. So every time it reaches a stretch goal, there's like a whole bunch of stretch goals and backer goals in the campaign. Things get added to the book, like short stories, pinups, whatever. Whatever Randy can get his hands on, he's going to put it in the book. The more people who back the book and the more people who buy in and support the higher tiers, the faster we can get on the faster we can get more pages in. So that means that it's like at the end of the campaign, like it's already starting, I think like 122 pages. At the end of the campaign, if we're really, really lucky, we could end up with a telephone book at the end. And it's not going to cost you any more than what you originally pledged for, So, and one of the, yeah, exactly. A media mogul doesn't have time to draw pages. It's like, look, I had to start outsourcing my flatting. That's how, I can only imagine how much, Varian has to kind of like put to the side in order to run, the radio station, the Roku channel, the live, all the live streams. I mean, it's like he does a tremendous amount of live streams. I mean, it's like me just doing this one live stream is like, holy moly, it's like, it's a lot of work, just to get it to go properly. And so yeah, so it's like I can forgive I can forgive Varian for not for not drawing pages right now. I mean, although he is doing a book for he was doing some artwork the other day for Lola's new book. Oh, there's a woman who's going to be really busy with campaigns. Right? Yeah, exactly. And it's like, that's right. It's like not counting the distribution. Yeah, he runs a distribution company. It's like, yeah, it's like on top of everything. So it's like, yeah, of course. It's like, look, yeah, there is a stretch goal where Varian is supposed to do a story for it, but I could forgive him for not doing it. Okay, it's like I said, he does. Yeah, exactly. Look, 5 lives. I can barely do this one. It's like, yeah, it's like I do a live stream and it's like I gotta take a nap afterwards. I mean, it's really weird. It's like even if you're not in setting it up. I mean, it's like you're just showing up on a live stream. It still takes a lot out of you. I don't know. I guess it's like it's the mental thing of being in front of an audience. Even though it's like I know you guys are there. It's like so, but like being being in front of an audience is just like. Well, I mean, yeah, it's that in and of itself is work. Like I said, I gotta take a nap after I do a live stream. Oh, another Tall Tales question coming in. Let's see. In the future, will you have all the Tall Tales comics series in color? Yes. Tall Tales, we are slowly going to start converting the work into color. In fact, we were discussing this yesterday. That there is a short that we did, a one-shot that we did called or so I thought, which is the Gabrielle prequel story. It's the prequel that actually comes before the Tall Tales Thieves Quest, volume 1. It's the story that builds up to that. And it's about how Gabrielle, the panda, ended up with the group. And that story was originally supposed to be in color. That was supposed to be our big, our color piece. But at the time, it was still not feasible to really, we were hopeful when we did the book, that we were going to do it in color. The idea was always was to do it in color. It's just that I don't know what we were thinking at the time, that how we were going to do it. So, but now, right, the sky's the limit. So now it's like, oh, that's the same company can do color comics. We can do color comics very easily. So yeah, so that's going to be the first Tall Tales book we're going to color. And then it's like we're slowly going to start coloring the entire series. Because what's funny is that Tears of the Mother, the second story arc that I'm working on now, I've been pretty much inadvertently inking that for color. So yeah, so it's not going to take much to convert it, into color. So, but yes, we are planning on doing Tall Tales in color and re-releasing everything in color. There was something else that I wanted to mention too, and I completely forgot. But yeah, color. Yeah, we're definitely doing color. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. So back to the Indie Volt Revolt. So yeah. So I think it's like at the 200th backer, Pops is going to have a story in the in the book. Like I said, we're going to end up with a telephone book. If we get to 200 backers, we're going to end up with a telephone book at the end of this campaign. So at 200 backers, Pops is going to have a story in it, and he says that he already has an artist lined up and the whole thing. So there we go. So yeah, Pops is definitely, but Pops pushes everything. So that's not a surprise. And then we have, it's like I have people asking me to do my show during the week and not Saturday, just to get more people on. I don't envy him at all. I couldn't get booked. Yeah, exactly. It's like there comes a point. It's like, yeah, because that's how much streaming takes out of you. And it's like, it's like, even not for nothing, if I wasn't on the stream, I would be working on this piece faster. So even like, because now it's like I have like this whole interaction thing happening at the same time with the artwork. So even though I'm working in front of you, it's kind of like working at a convention. It's like, do you really get work done at a convention? It's like, so so it's kind of like that, that's what it feels like. A live stream feels like a live stream like this feels like I'm at a convention and I'm talking to all my friends and we're hanging out, and you're not going to get serious work done. So having to run live streams and everything, that's, it's not, it's not an easy thing to do. It requires a lot of strategy. Yeah, you see, that's the thing. Running a channel is it's work. That's why when people, you have these randos going, oh, get a real job and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, we do have real jobs. Okay. But the thing is though, running a YouTube channel is hard work. That's, I haven't sat down and edited a video since October, since my last since the Comic Blast video. Like that's literally the last video, edited video that I made. Ever since then, I've just done live streams, because it's like, yes, technically they're easier, but it's still work. It's still work. Just because I don't have to, I'm saving the time of not editing, doesn't mean I'm not, it isn't a whole process. I mean, it's like every Wednesday, except for last Wednesday, I skipped last Wednesday, but every Wednesday that I get up and I know it's a live stream day, my preparation for the live stream starts the minute I wake up. I have to do the thumbnail, I have to set up, all the whole StreamYard thing. And then it's like I have to start, prepping the space and getting the work together. And then it's like, and then keeping track of my time so that I don't, like I said, I was lettering up until I came online. So yeah, no, it's not easy. It's not easy work. Even, it's yeah. So yeah, I can't take people who've never done this yapping about how easy it is. It's not. I can't take them seriously. In fact, it's like that's how I know it's like they don't know. There was this post that I think it was Goblin Grimm who was talking about people who tell him that it's like, oh, if I had your talent, I'd be rich. And it's not the compliment they think it is, because it's like they're telling you this and you're right in front of them, and it's like, oh, okay, so what am I now? So what you're telling me is that I'm doing something wrong because I'm not wealthy. Like somehow if you had my talent, you could figure out how to market this successfully that I couldn't figure out. I mean, I know I'm running on a tangent, but I just, it was just kind of like the whole thing about randos who have never done it yapping about stuff they know nothing about, like they do. And yeah, it's kind of like the people who keep telling me, oh, you should work at Disney. Like I never heard of Disney before. Like I've never heard of them. Oh, Disney? Who's that? I've never heard. It's like, really? It's like I know who they are. And it's like, and it's like I've been rejected by them so many times, it's not even funny. I've been it's like I've been rejected by Disney, I've been rejected by their licensors. I did the whole Wonderground gallery trying to get in there. And it's like, it's just one rejection after another. So don't tell me I should be working at Disney, because it's like, bitch, it's not like I haven't been trying. It's like, you don't know. You don't know. So don't talk like you know. But, I get ahead of myself. So yeah. So the more people who back the Indie Volt Revolt campaign on Indiegogo, they're gonna unlock a lot of new stories. And like I said, who knows? Maybe this 12-page, depending on how it goes, maybe this 12-page Eagle Raven story I'm working on might end up in there, or in another Indie Volt anthology. I don't know yet. Yeah, that's always, yeah, but of your own creations, yeah, that's always, that's always really. It's like I'm always curious about people who are so quick to kind of like sell off their stuff. It's like, oh, and it's like, why would you want to do that? And then it's like, what, you get this company just making their own stuff out of your stuff, and not in the way that you wanted it. I mean, that's a whole other thing too. It's like I understand that people, that there are people who kind of like, they want to be the next Turtles. They want to be the next Eastman and Laird. But the thing is, though, it's like, what we ended up with is so far removed from their original vision that it's like, I don't know, is that something? I mean, that would have to be something you would have to like not mind in the end, you know. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, definitely. I was pretty excited to find out that I was sharing cover duties with Russ. I really enjoy his work, and and it makes me feel professional sharing the space with him. So yeah, so I do have a we do have a flip cover. So there's two versions of the book, and they have flip covers on them. So I have a Ms.Chevious flip cover, and then it's like when you flip it over, then you end up with Russ's "Only Death Can Save Us" cover on the other side. So and it's like, and not bad for a piece for me. For that Ms.Chevious cover was just me messing around. That was the funny thing. I had ordered a whole bunch of because I don't know what happened to my collection. My collection just ended up, my comic collection ended up in the ether somewhere. I have so many books missing. I don't know where they are. I have no idea. So I ended up rebuying a whole bunch of books, and one of the things that I ended up rebuying was Tales from the Universe, and this was kind of like at the beginning, where what happened was that I found out that JD was kind of like talking to Randy, and I didn't know him, but it's like I go, what, the Universe guy? And then all of a sudden I got into this whole nostalgic kick, and I rebought all those issues. And so I was just beginning to know everybody and whatnot. So I started, so I did this piece, this pinup piece with Ms.Chevious and Ganda in it, based on those books that I had rebought. Which, little had I known, it's like, had I have just like talked to Randy at the time a little bit more, he said that he has boxes of those books. So he could have just sent me. So who knows, right? So I did the piece pretty much as a goof. I was just like, I mean, it's like, let me just do this piece, and then it's like, and then before I know it, now that piece is on a cover with Russ Leach, and it's like, wow, okay, cool. I feel so professional. Let's see. Do you think is good where you do a new series of what Tall Tales, or when Randy does his? I mean, it's like well, it's like, well, to tell you, I mean, it's like, I think it's come full circle already. I mean, because right now it's like, whoa, we were having a discussion the other day about. I think this might have been one of the questions that JD asked on one of his live streams, where he asked about books that you read when you were younger that inspired you throughout your entire, I guess, comics career or whatnot. And and it's like, and the thing is, though, it's like, yeah, it's like the DNA of so many comics that I read that early on. I mean, it's all in all my work. I mean, it's like I said, the realm that that DNA is all over. I mean, it's like we're talking that's so much DNA. I'm paying alimony to it. Like I'm paying child support. There's so much DNA on that. Yeah, it's like Aniverse is in there. Yeah, it's like the DNA to Aniverse is in there. Rocket Raccoon is in there. Elf Quest is in there. As Guardian Wars is in there. Let's see, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Cinder and Ash, that book. I mean, talk about out of the, out of left field. That's in there. The DNA to that book is in there. It is in everything. Longbow Hunters, Mike Grell, Longbow Hunters, Green Arrow. That's in everything. Did I mention Asgardian Wars? Holy crap! That book especially. A baby Arthur Adams, Asgardian Wars. That was the book me and JD really bonded over. Like, it's like if there's like, it's like if you have a book that it's like you have a book that inspired you, and then it's like you have a book that it's like that was the book that we bonded over, and they go, oh, I like you, it's like that really, it's like I'm completely imprinted on that book because of that, and that's all, the DNA of that book is all over the place. Chris Claremont's The Black Dragon. That's also a huge influence. There's this book called Artesia by Mark Smiley, I think, and it's like, and it's just that one breaks my heart because it's an unfinished book, and the way it looked, like the last issue came out like 13 years ago. He ain't finishing that, and it just breaks my heart. There's another one, another book that's a huge influence, that its DNA is all over the place, is Animal Mystic by Greg Dark One Williams. I actually tried looking for him to do a variant cover for Eagle Raven, and I couldn't find him. It's like he just fell off the face of the earth. I don't know if he's even doing artwork anymore. All the work that I see from him is like the last thing that I saw from him like 5 years ago. And he had been hinting at doing another Animal Mystic series, and again, that's not happening. So yeah, I mean, I just think that the circle has already come, has already, that Boros is already happening here. Just being involved, with Randy and Arrow and everything. I mean, you can't get more full circle than that, So it's like, yeah, I mean, if anything, I mean, what's really funny is that I think the opposite might be happening, that it's like now my artistic DNA is going to be infused into Aniverse, as opposed to now the other way around, which, I mean, holy crap. I mean, just thinking about that blows my mind, I mean, it's funny. I guess this is what people think. This is what goes through people's head when they talk about getting a job at Marvel and stuff like that. Where it's like, they grew up on Spider-Man, and then it's like they end up drawing Spider-Man. It's like, okay, I can kind of get that now. I mean, but the only difference is that, Marvel isn't your friend. You're just another person. You're just another cog drawing Spider-Man. So it's like, it's not as intimate, I think, as this is, as this feeling is, like knowing Randy, and it's like, and knowing the artwork, knowing the work, knowing Tales from the Aniverse, knowing the Realm, it's like, it's knowing Arrow Comics. Yeah, it's been full circle. Yeah. I mean, if any of that makes any sense, it's been full circle. It's and like I said, it's like, I think what's going to happen now from this point on, which is the weirdest thing, is that people who are going to be seeing Aniverse new, they're going to be looking at my work the same way I looked at Susan Van Camp's work at the time, where it's, yeah, thank you. Which is trippy, it's like I said, it's just something very intimate about this entire situation. So in the end, I can't even really compare it to what it would feel like to be working at Marvel, you're working on, your favorite character or something. It's like it's just something about the whole thing. And it took 30 years in a pandemic to get to this point. So, it's the whole thing is just trippy, you know. Okay, so here's another Tall Tales question. Let's see this one. How do you represent the descendants of the main characters? Oh, I don't think we're not getting that far, really. I think that with the third story arc, um the closest to a descendant you're going to get is Pandora's adopted daughter. And that's pretty much it. Once that story arc is done, I don't see. I mean, it depends. I mean, in the end, it depends on how JD wants to go about it. But it's like I think that once that story arc is done, that's it. That's a lid on that box. I mean, it's like we've been working on Tall Tales since 1992. Okay, I'm not doing the math on that. All right. since 1992. I mean, there are people in the Indie Vault audience that weren't even born when I was working on this book. Okay. Um. Shit, I don't even think Varian was born when I was working on this book. So it's like, yeah, So yeah, we've been working on this book for it's going to be our whole life. And I really don't see it going beyond what we have already planned for it. So if you want further adventures or something, I don't know, maybe maybe people will be writing fanfic about our stuff by the time we get to it. Who knows? Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm not yeah, the story is pretty much, I mean, JD said that the story is pretty much complete in his head. So, and I know for a fact it doesn't go that far. Like like he's told me the very, like, what would be the last page? What would be the last page of the entire saga? And yeah, it stops. It stops at a certain point. Let's just say that. Um yeah, yeah, no, for real, for real. This is between Tall Tales and Ego Raven. My heart is full. I'm telling you. I mean, really, it's oh, it's especially, yeah. I mean, is it? I mean, it's when people talk about falling in love, like Pygmalion. It's like you fall in love with your own work. It's like that. That's real. That's real. And that's what it is. That's what it is. Let's see. So I doubt I will get to She-Hulk or Wonder Woman, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 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 That's it. And in the end, that's that's what this is all about. This is about. I mean, in the end, us creating our own circles with our own work. Yeah. It's like if. And it's really funny. It's like that whole passing the torch thing. Um, because I don't, because it's like with me, it's like with my work with Tall Tales, with Ego Raven, I don't even see that happening. It's like it's either me or it's nobody. I mean, yeah, exactly. That's also a thing too. It's so much better than slaving over some conglomerate's properties, right? Because at that point there is no intimacy to it, even though it might be a dream to work on Spider-Man because you grew up on Spider-Man. You're nothing but a cog to the company. You're just another schmuck drawing Spider-Man. As opposed to you doing your own thing. Everybody knows who Eastman and Laird is. Who they are. It's like these are the guys who birthed the turtles into existence. and that's forever going to be their legacy. I mean, they could have other people working on the Turtles, but I mean, it's kind of funny how it's like it ends up a cog thing in their sense, especially now that it's what Nickelodeon that owns the Turtles. So it's like that intimacy between creators is completely gone. But yeah, it's like, but when it comes to my work, it's either me or nothing. I mean, I don't know how JD feels about Tall Tales, if like for some reason, it's like, but yeah, but with Eagle Raven, it's me or nothing, because it's like that book is so intimate to me. That there is no passing the torch, because I couldn't explain it to anybody. Like I couldn't get them to love the characters the way I do, to fall in love with the characters the way I do. I mean, again, not to throw shade, but so I was trying to catch up on Wendy Pini's ElfQuest work. It's been years, decades since I looked at ElfQuest, and she did try to get other people to do her work. I mean, she did. She has another guy drawing ElfQuest, doing the new series, Stargazer's Quest or something. I forgot what it's called. The one coming out from Dark Horse. And no matter how much this guy really, really, I mean, it's kind of like Jim Henson's predecessor on Kermit. When he passed, he had somebody that he was training to be Kermit, and it never was right. Even though he was handpicked for the job, there was always something off. And it's the same thing with ElfQuest. It's like, even though she handpicked this guy, and there are some moments where he really, really gets her style, but they're moments. It's not the whole thing. There's something missing from, like, it's not her doing it. And that really bothers me in a certain way, because there's something missing. I know that she did a lot of key issues. I'm still, to tell you the truth, I'm still a little shook that, spoiler warning, she actually kills off Cutter. I'm still a little shook by that, to tell you the truth. It's like, that's ballsy. She actually killed off her main character. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings. I have a lot of mixed feelings about, what I ended up finding out about all the new ElfQuest issues. And but the whole point is that there's a whole segment. There's a large swath of ElfQuest work that's not her doing it. That she got all these other artists to come in and do the work. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way, because I saw a lot of fans, and like they stopped following ElfQuest when she started doing that. I think it's right after Kings of the Broken Wheel that she started doing, like, she did the color series for a little bit. What was it called? Hidden Years. And then after Hidden Years, I think she really started hiring other people to do ElfQuest. And a lot of people said that that's when they stopped reading ElfQuest, because it wasn't her artwork anymore. And so that feeling that her artwork gave to the work was gone. And I have to agree with that. So yeah, so like I said, there's a certain intimacy that I have with my work, with my Eagle Raven work, that there is no torch to pass. It's just, that's it. Yeah. It's like, there is no torch to pass. It's like, either I do it or it doesn't get done. And I know people, a lot of people, don't like that, especially when you do think about like how many comic book series out there never got finished because of that. But that's I'm okay with that decision, It's like that's just really how it's like, oh, so it's like we're so technically, you know what? It's like technically I should be finishing this in about 10 minutes, the live stream. But I'm going to I think I want to keep going until I feel like I think I'm just gonna keep going for now. Okay. So it's like so if you guys got things to do, I'm just gonna keep going. It's like um so yeah, that's kind of like the weirdest thing about the about that, because like Tall Tales feels different because it's like even though I am an equal partner in it, it's not completely mine, so it's like I don't have that same greediness, I guess. It's like I don't know, it's kind of funny to like like I said, it's like Ego Raven is my thing. It started off, I think it's because maybe it started off as, the character started off as like a personal mascot, your Mary Sue, if you will. It started off as a mascot, as a gallery mascot. Um, and it was supposed to be like a self-insert character, you know. I mean, what's really funny is that I was kind of like, because I keep getting, every time I talk about how I came up with the idea for her, um, I keep forgetting how old the character is, because it's like it started like in high school, like around high school is when she started manifesting. But then the more I thought about it, the more I realized she started manifesting even earlier than that. And then what I realized when I really thought about it is that Ego Raven started off as a She-Ra self-insert that I came up with. And Jake. Hello, Jake. I'm hoping not, because everyone's been pretty much here. The chat's been busy, so I'm hoping. I haven't been talking to myself this entire time. So yeah, no. I think we're fine with the sound. Everybody assured me that the sound was good today. So yeah, well, like I said, I have people commenting in the yeah, thank you for giving me that heart attack for a split second. Thank you, because it's like I'm here being all all navel gazy and stuff, and then you come in going, can we hear you? It's like, I want to smack you through the screen. No, we're good. you know where was I was being navel gazy right now. So yeah, so what I realized was that Ego Raven was a lot older, because she started off as like a She-Ra fanfic self-insert thing. If it's like, just to show you how old that character is. So so it's like, so I think that, so even as she became her own character with her own story to tell and whatnot, and it's like, honestly, it's like I wouldn't even call her a self-insert anymore. I mean, what was funny was that I actually ended up creating a different character to be a self-insert, because it just wasn't her anymore. That was the funny thing. It's like, so what was I saying? I was rambling. Hey, look, at least this time I'm rambling, not babbling. I'm kind of like more focused today. So yeah, so Yeah, so like I said, I think usually I'm tying up the stream right now, but you know what it's like. Look, I'd rather just just keep going with this piece. Um, it's like I don't know, maybe we'll give it like another half hour or something, and because I still have other things I have to do. I have to upload some stuff to the website and get that, you know, get some admin stuff done. The fun stuff, the not so fun stuff that we have to manage. And the funny thing too is that then it's like then I have to prepare for Geekgasm tonight at 9 p.m. So whatever. It's like, look, I'm doing this anyway, right? So might as well do this on stream. But yeah, we'll give it we'll give it a half hour more. Ooh, sounds like someone woke up. Ooh, it's raining. It's raining here. I actually like it when it rains. Um, it takes the pressure off of having to go outside. But yeah, at least the 50th backer who gets this piece, they'll actually have this video to look back on, right? Say, oh, this is where she's working on my piece that I won for being the 50th backer on Indie Volt Revolt. So I guess it's kind of like a convention sketch in terms of that technically everyone's watching me do this. But not a convention sketch because this would not be the usual format. Trying to keep from smearing anything. Because as you can see, the shiny bits trying to stay away from. Also, not for nothing too, going back yeah, exactly. Yeah, the smears the smears makes it authentic. I think that might be the. Or are we talking about House of Bob? Is that more of a House of Bob thing than what I'm working on? Jake is like, are we talking a W? Are we talking an innuendo there instead of the work that I'm doing right now? So, so yeah. Oh, but to go back to the elf quest thing, I think the other thing though that kind of had me shook. Not only did she kill off Cutter, but he dies stupid too. Like, but not like he dies stupidly, but it's like for everything that character survived throughout the entire oh, I'm sure that's exactly what you meant, right? Get out of my gutter. But yeah, but ElfQuest, it's like, yeah, it is, it's like I said, this is, I don't know if this is all spoilery because obviously this happened a while ago. This happened like this issue happened like years ago. So it's like, I don't know how much of a spoiler this is, but yeah, it's like, yeah, yes, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I was talking about how we initially were talking about passing the torch from your of your stuff to like another artist or something to continue. And then I brought up ElfQuest as an example of how that's kind of like a hit and miss, and near miss, near hit type of thing, because like so she did certain key issues, but it's another guy now who draws ElfQuest. So I was looking up all these issues that I missed. And yeah, and it turns out she killed off Cutter. And like I said, I'm still shook by it. Like I said, it's like wow, it's like you killed, not only, you see, because it was kind of weird when I saw it happen, because it's like, one, she killed off her main character. And then not only that, she killed off the character that she's mentioned in many, many interviews is her self-insert. Like, Cutter is a representation of her in the story. Skywise is supposed to be Richard and Cutter is supposed to be her. And she kills off Cutter. So not only am I shook over her killing off this main character of hers that a lot of us grew up with, but I'm kind of wondering if there was like a more personal implication to that story, or whether a cigar is just a cigar. I mean, so it's like it's this whole thing, and sometimes I sit down, I actually find myself thinking about it. It's like, what does this mean? This means something, or does it? So yeah, but the thing is though, is that so not only did that have me a little bit shook, but pretty much he dies in the most mundane way possible. Everything that this guy survived in the entire series, and he dies by a spider bite. It's like, really, she went full Australian outback on him. Right? It's like, oh, a spider bite. That's what it took. That's what it took to kill Cutter. Blood of 10 chiefs. It's like that's what it took. A spider bite. And the thing is, though, it's like, and I really don't know what to think about that, it's like it's been a while since I've been invested in ElfQuest. Like I said, she got other people to do the work, and they don't have the same level of intimacy that she obviously had with the characters, and it shows. So I the artwork isn't as appealing to me. So like I said, I haven't really, been invested in it, but that one little thing kind of had me like, what the F? You know? Um I mean, and it was just like the way she did it. And then it's like she did like this weird thing that I think I can kind of understand why the fans are kind of like more upset at this than the spider bite, where it's kind of like now it's like it turns out that Cutter was actually some kind of manifestation of Timmain, and like like he had part of her soul, like so that's why Skywise recognized Cutter, because he was really recognizing Timmain's soul, and it was just like, and it was kind of like for some bizarre reason, it's like I don't know how to feel about that, because like I understand what the fans were complaining about, that it's like because of that angle, like Cutter stopped being his own character. Like everything that he did was actually Timmain doing it, and it was just like, I guess it's like, I don't know. It was kind of like a weird thing. I mean, it's like, I don't know. Was Wendy uptight about creating the situation where everybody just thought Cutter and Skywise were gay for each other? I mean, it's like, was that why? Like this was a way that she could come in and say, oh, no, Skywise was actually, in love with Timmain's soul, and, not, no homo or something. I mean, that's kind of like how it comes off. It's like, I don't know. It was just kind of weird, and it's, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe sometimes it's possible to work on. Maybe it's kind of possible to work on a story too long, that you start making weird decisions like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I had to go digging to find those issues. I don't even remember. It was called The Final Quest. I think it came out like 2 or 3 years ago. And yeah, and it's like, and they did live. It's like, yeah, it was like around the 14th century. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that sounds, the date sounds correct. Because it's like they were now like living in this, like this pre-industrial medieval area type of thing going on. So I don't know. I don't know. The whole thing was kind of, the story kind of like got super weird at the end. so I don't know. I find it hard to believe that was the ending she had all along for this. Because like I said, with Tall Tales, we have an exact ending. Like I know the literal last page for Tall Tales. Eagle Raven has an ending, or at least the Heir of the First Unicorn story arc has a literal ending. Like I've drawn out the last 3 pages. And it's like, and I have certain stories afterwards, but I don't know. I like I said, I think uh you know I think I don't know. It's like the ending to ElfQuest was the way she did it so far was just kind of like, did you make this up at the last minute? Like it just, I don't know. It just didn't feel. Like I said, I was more weirded out by the thing with Timmain than it was with the spider bite. You know that. You know. Okay, looks like I'm almost getting done here with the inking. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would have to reread that issue again. Like I know that there was just something intense about the spider bite, but I don't know. It's like I said, the whole Cutter being a manifestation of Tamane's soul was just a little. I think that was the bridge too far for me. That I was having a real hard time with it, with that story. So well, I don't know. Okay. All right, we're kind of almost done here. Oh, hello. Hello there. Welcome. I guess there's a benefit to running a little over today. I'm just gonna keep inking until I'm finished with this. You know, because I have to finish it anyway, so might as well do it on stream. So okay, here we go. I was thinking of doing a matching pair, of doing a piece that goes with this, except it's retro ram, which is funny. It's the other character on one of the other on one of the other flip covers on the second version of the book. You know, so it's like, you know, you have like a set. Not that I wouldn't, someone else would end up getting the retro ram if I did that. So I don't know. Let's see how this week goes in terms of work, how much work I have to get done. Maybe I can squeeze something in. Because sometimes with pieces like these, I like to make sets. I like just a little matching, little matchy thing. I don't know. I think those are fun. You know. Yeah, now I'm just intent on finishing this. If anyone is wondering whether the sound is on or not. Yeah, it's that calm. It's that get her done calm. I guess. Also it's kind of like, like it's raining and you can hear the rain. Well, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's like you can hear the rain here. The parrot's quiet. It's like it's just this, this quiet intensity of finishing the work. See, got something here. Look, a schmear right there, right there. And because I'm coloring, I can't use whiteout, so I got to figure out how to camouflage that. But look, that's authenticity right there. Authenticity. You can't get that on a digital piece. You have a partial palm print somewhere. Oh yeah, yeah. Happy inking. Yeah. That was always something when I had, when I had my work. Yeah, yeah, really. It's like that's the authentic art experience. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, if you want to do that, sure. That's on you, sir. Yeah. Okay, I think we're kind of. Let's see how it looks on the screen. The best thing about seeing this on camera is that I get like a good look of it at a distance, so I can kind of tell whether, because sometimes when I see the work in front of me, I don't notice things than if I'm seeing it on the screen, which is funny because it's like, you would think it'd be the same thing, but it's not. It's like, so it's like, oh, okay, I think I kind of got everything. You know, maybe over here. I still have to put in like the little like there's smaller details, but I want to wait for the ink to dry. There's a lot of, because I'm using the thicker pen, a lot more ink comes out, so that's why the smears are coming out now. Um so there's a lot of shiny areas right here right now. But I kind of think Yeah, I kind of think, judging from what I'm seeing on the screen, I kind of think that this is pretty much it. Yeah, I still have to put in the smaller details on the eyes, some smaller details, and I think that's pretty much it. And then I just have to wait for this to dry so I can put the border in, and then I can start coloring it. Um, oh, do I zoom in and out on a piece when drawing on screen? Yeah, no, definitely, constantly doing that. Um, especially with the coloring work that I'm doing now, it's like it just seems like the closer I get in, the smoother the lines are. So yeah, so it's like I have to zoom in a lot to get kind of like what I'm looking for. But yeah, no, the zooming thing is a given. It's just like for this. I mean, because what's funny is like you would think that being up like this, that I would be able to kind of like see, but it's kind of like the opposite. Like when I'm on working digitally, I have to be all up close. But when I'm working like this in the physical space, I'm realizing by seeing it on the screen, I need it at a distance for me to see whether that's, like it's coming out the way I want. So it's kind of like the opposite. I gotta zoom out. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna finish inking. Yeah, I'm gonna finish inking this, and then I'm going to scan that in before I color it. Because in the end, I like having the three comparisons. So I already scanned in the blue lines when we started the stream, and then I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna scan in the inks, and then because also that way, if I wanted to color it in digitally, I could do that too. So I have the option of doing both, because this is going to be hand colored to give away, but depending on how it comes out, I might actually go in and digitally color it too, because why not? But it depends on how I feel. Because if it comes out fine, you know marker with the markers, I'm just gonna leave it as is. And like I said, I'll do the maybe I'll do like a matching pair, like a matching picture of retro ram, so that they can kind of be together. I don't know. Like I said, I kind of like artistic sets like that, so I might do something. I don't know. Again, depends. It's like, it's not like I have a billion things on my list that I don't have to get to. So, okay. So I think I think we're gonna leave this at this. And yeah, I think, yeah, I just gonna have to put in the little details, do the border. I see, oh, now everyone starts it off again, right? It was quiet for a little bit, right? Just put in the details, scan it in, finish coloring, and then I'll post the final piece to my Facebook and my other social media so everyone can see how it comes out. I'm just not going to, the only place I'm not going to put it up is Twitter, because people get really goddamn weird about this character. So I'm not going to bother Twitter with that. Or more like, I'm not going to let Twitter bother me about it. So I'm not posting the piece there. If you follow me on Twitter, it's like I'll just, you know, there's certain things I cannot post there for some reason, and it's dumb. It's dumb, you know. Yeah. So there we go. So yes, let's hope for 50th backer. Definitely. I mean, last I checked, we were at 37 backers on the Indie Volt Revolt campaign on Indiegogo. So yeah, so it's completely possible we're getting a 50th backer, and they're going to be getting the finished version of this piece. If I do the retro RAM matching piece, maybe we'll save that for the 75th backer. You know, who knows? It's depending on how it goes. So yeah, so I think we're pretty much done with this for now, or at least in terms of the live stream. Like I said, I still have some stuff to do on it. So, oh, there we go. We're at 38 because somebody has to be obsessing and refreshing on the campaign, right? So it's like, so okay. So let's just, okay. So I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, let's kind of roll us out here, you know. So I just want to thank everybody so much for making it through another live stream. I know we ran a little long, but you know, at least we got to get this piece finished the way I wanted. I was going to finish it anyway, so might as well do it on stream, right? So yeah, so thanks for making it through another live stream. Extra love to everybody in the chat. You guys always keep me busy and entertained, you know, and giving me that convention vibe, hanging out and everything. So I just want to thank everybody in the chat for being there. So there we go. So another live stream in the books. So you can check out all my, how does this work? This way. There we go. Okay. You can check out all of my social media sites listed here, and or you can head over to egoworks.com where you can see all my links, my main gallery. You can read Eagle Raven for free. You can head over to talltalesonline.com, read Tall Tales for free. Don't forget to sign up at the links below to so that you get notified when the Kickstarters for the 2 books start, you know, go live. Remember, Tall Tales Thieves Quest Volume 1 goes live March 29th, Monday. And Eagle Raven Issue 2 goes live May 3rd. And in between there, and then it's probably in July, there's going to be, you know, Tall Tales, Here's the Mother Issue 6, but we're not talking about that now. But I just figure, just to show you how many Kickstarters are coming. So make sure you go to the website and you sign up for my newsletter, and get free comics when you do sign up for the newsletter. So you get the first 3 issues of Tall Tales as downloadable PDFs, along with the first 3 issues of the Oswald Chronicles to try out as downloadable PDFs. So there you go. You sign up for the newsletter, get free comics. Can't go wrong with that. So also, if you want to learn more about art, illustration, and making comics, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, the whole thing, whatever makes the YouTube gods happy, because it would be really nice to finally get this channel to 1,000 subscribers so that, I don't know, do super chats and stuff. You know, it's like maybe I'll finally put together that giveaway that I was planning on doing for 1,000 subscribers. So we can do that. So again, thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I know you guys could have been anywhere else, but instead you wanted to spend time with me, listening to me ramble about ElfQuest and inking this Ms.Chevious piece. But, thank you again for your time and spending it with me and keeping me company while I work. And again, don't forget to make the YouTube gods happy. If you're watching this on Facebook, I will, thank you again for joining me there. And we'll do this again on Wednesday, next Wednesday. So thank you again. And I'll see you guys on the next live stream as I awkwardly take us out. So let's do that. Let's see. So I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.